everybody, my name is Rachel and welcome to my channel Colonati. Today I'm going to do the Unpopular Opinions Tag and I am going to be drinking my effervescent mead while I do so, because if there is any video you can film while drinking alcohol and it feels kind of appropriate, it would be the Unpopular Opinions Tag, where you talk about all those things that you disagree with other people about. I was tagged to do the Unpopular Opinions Tag by Nicole from Wolf's Whistle. This originally was created by The Book Archer. I think I will put both of their videos down below if you want to check them out. And yeah, this is a tag about the things that you like that other people didn't like, and things that you didn't like that are absurdly popular. I'm going to put the general disclaimer on this that I've seen a lot of people put on their versions of this tag, which is, these are just opinions. It's not meant to offend anybody. It's meant to be fun. We can disagree about things and still peacefully coexist in the same universe. I know I'm idealistic, but if you don't want to watch, don't watch. Number 1 is a popular book or series that you didn't like. And I gotta say, The Great Gatsby. This is like a modern classic I've seen a lot of people on BookTube say that they love. I don't like it. I really didn't like it. I didn't like the characters. I hated Daisy. I didn't like, Gatsby himself. Like, there's supposed to be this romance between the characters, and like, I thought they were terrible people. I didn't get it at all. This is definitely a book that I think I would have gotten more out of if I learned more about the context of it in like school or something, but I only read like 3 or 4 classics in 7 years of university, so. I also did not like City of Bones. I did try reading the Mortal Instruments series and didn't like it. It was terribly written. I was literally rolling my eyes at the end of that book. I'm pretty sure that the series probably gets better. That was like a debut novel, and Cassandra Clare has a lot more books under her belt now, but I really couldn't forgive the writing in that. And another one, which is a book I read when I realized I wasn't really into YA anymore, so this might be a little bit unfair, but it's Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and somebody else whose name I've forgotten, I'm sorry. It was boring, number 1, and it was so chock full of teenage angst, like, oh, I hate this town, I gotta move out of this town, and my parents don't understand me, and I'm falling in love with a girl who says we can't be together, and it's like, that stupid forbidden love thingy, like, I can't tell you why, but we just can't be together, and they get all like, it was so repetitive, I DNF'd this book very quickly. Question number 2 is a popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate but you love. I liked Moby Dick. This, another classic here. Nobody likes Moby Dick. Everyone's like, oh, it's such a boring book. It has all this stuff about whaling in it, and it's so boring. And it's just only a small part of the book is really about like Ahab and the white whale and the adventure and all that. I really liked this book. My parents think I'm crazy because I borrowed their e-reader to read this last year before I got my own Kindle, and they had gotten rid of their copy. They didn't like the book so much they got rid of it. And I was like, this is a really interesting book. It's written in a very interesting style. I was straight off of reading a bunch of Shakespeare, so as this really like verbose, almost Shakespearean language in it, and I was eating that up. It was really interesting, and I liked all the stuff about whaling. I went into it with a really big open mind, and I really liked learning about the whaling practices. I was basically reading it from a historical perspective, like, this is what whaling was like. I don't know anything about whaling. Let me educate myself. So I hope that stuff was accurate, because I feel like that's the only thing I know about whaling practices. But anyway, I really liked Moby Dick. Number 3, a love triangle where the main character ended up with a person you did not want them to end up with, spoiler warning, or an OTP that you don't like. This is a hard question because I don't read a lot of genres where there are like a lot of love triangles or really a lot of romance, period. So I'm gonna reach way back into history. The first love triangle I ever remember coming into contact with and going, that's weird, that's kind of dumb, why am I reading this, was the Bella Edward Jacob love triangle from Twilight. Yes, I have read all of the Twilight books. I used to own them. And then the Twilight craze hit and I was like, I don't want to be a part of that. And then I got a bit older and I realized that I didn't like the relationship at all. It was just weird. So at the very end of that series, Jacob ends up with, this is spoilers, who doesn't know this? Jacob ends up with Bella's daughter. How freaking weird is that? That was so weird. I didn't like the last book at all. And the other one, which is, I haven't read the books, but I have watched the movies, I don't get the Katniss, Peeta, Gale love triangle thing. Okay, I don't like Gale. I have already been totally spoiled for what happens with Gale at the end of the series, but I don't understand, and I don't dislike Peeta. What am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say Katniss shouldn't be in a relationship at all. She should be single and in therapy. Let's move on. Number 4 is a popular book genre that you hardly reach for. Literary fiction, contemporary. As we've probably established, I don't really read YA that much. Not because, like, I don't like the idea of YA. It's just that YA isn't a genre. It's a demographic, and I'm not in that demographic anymore. I'm not even in, like, the new adult demographic, so it's not relevant anymore, and I can tell I shouldn't read it because I'm nitpicking the actions and decisions and thought processes of teenagers, you know? They're not adults, they're teenagers. I just shouldn't. Number 5 is a popular or beloved character that you do not like. Do the characters from Wuthering Heights count as popular? Or does everyone hate them? I don't like Jace from the Mortal Instruments. I mentioned that because I have already mentioned City of Bones, and he's like one of those characters everyone's like, oh, swoon-worthy! And I'm like, it doesn't matter how physically hot he is, he was a kind of an asshole, so no. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. Also, this took me a long time to admit to myself because I don't want to say anything bad about Discworld or Terry Pratchett, but I don't like Rincewind, and the Rincewind books are my least favorite. I'll probably never reread them unless I like embark on some sort of project to reread the entire series. I don't even like the like TV movie adaptation. What was it? Oh, The Color of Magic or something. Yeah. The casting in that one was really weird. I'm running out of mead. I gotta go refill. Number 6 is a popular author that you can't seem to get into. For me, this is absolutely Brandon Sanderson. I'm so sorry. Please don't be offended if he's your favorite author of all time. I just can't seem to do it. I am trying one more time, though. So we'll see if I can get over the disappointment that was Elantris. Number 7 is a popular book trope that you're tired of seeing. Like most people, I'm not a fan of love triangles. I'm also not a fan of, like, will they, won't they relationships that are dragged out over multiple books in a series. Just no. I'd rather read about a really stable relationship or no relationship at all. Which is my next thing, is that I don't often dislike pairings in books. And I don't often dislike relationships because of the people in the relationship. I just dislike relationships in general because of how they're used in stories. I read a lot of science fiction, so there really isn't a lot of romance in it anyway. I mean, when you're dealing with interstellar wars, you're not angsting about your romantic problems. If you are, I think your priorities are really weird, and why am I reading the book? But it's the relationships that feel perfunctory, like they're in the book because it's expected. And it's always with the female characters, isn't it? Because they can't exist in a book unless they're in a relationship. They have to be in a relationship by the end of the book or by the end of the series. Or if they're not actually in a relationship, they have to have a crush on somebody, they have to be in love with somebody, it has to be like unrequited love. And it's boring and repetitive and predictable and doesn't say a lot of good things about representing real women in literature. It's like, no, you don't have to be in a relationship to be a person who's interesting. You just, no. Being in a relationship doesn't make you more interesting than you already are when you're single. The meat is talking now, but I'm very single, I'm very happy, and I'd like to see more of that in fiction for women. Number 8 is a popular series that you have no interest in reading. I think I've just described all the reasons why I'm not going to read Throne of Glass. I also am not going to read A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm not going to read The Hunger Games. I'm perfectly content just watching the movie versions of The Hunger Games. I'm the last person in my family to not read The Hunger Games. Everyone has read them except for me. And in that vein, there's the whole slew of YA dystopian series that I'm never going to read. Divergent. What's the other one? Maze Runner. That's it. Maze Runner. All the Percy Jackson novels, all the stuff that Rick Riordan has written that are really popular on BookTube. Not planning on reading them either. And, Wheel of Time. That's a really big fantasy series I'm not gonna read. Not gonna read that either. I'm super turned off by the hype machine, so about the 20th time that somebody mentions Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell or Landline or whatever, I'm like, okay, I'm out. We're almost done with the mead, so question number 9 is, the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation do you prefer more than the book? So I adore Pride and Prejudice, the book, but I am so much more likely to rewatch the 95 miniseries or the 2005 movie rather than reread the book. I will someday reread the book for the 3rd time, but the adaptations are just, that is what Pride and Prejudice is. You know, Darcy is Colin Firth, and Elizabeth Bennet is totally Jennifer Ely, and I really like the music from the 2005 movie, so that is the end. I'm going to tag some people. I'm going to tag Catherine from the Android's Conundrum because I like it when Catherine does do tags. I'm going to tag Otavio from the Galilean Library and Bree from Stories from the Shelf. So do this if you want to. Please don't feel any pressure to do it if you don't want to. I would love to know your opinions. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm so sorry I drank 2 glasses of mead while filming this. I'm gonna be so embarrassed when I edit this. It may never see the light of day, but if it does, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again in my next video. I almost forgot how I ended videos. I need to go eat something. I need to go drink a lot of water. Bye.